Hey budgeteers, we're back to Google Sheets part 2. So we're going to dive in today and take the main sheet that we use in the Excel template that we use, and we're going to move that into Google Sheets. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. It may not all come in this video, but we're going to basically mimic the budget template that you can download here in Google Sheets. So let's jump right over to Google Sheets and we'll keep going. All right, as you all know, this is the standard budget template that we work off of. I'm just going to use January 2017, and we're going to start from cell A1 here, and we're going to just work our way down and over. So I'm going to start with this line, and we'll just keep doing line by line, and we'll get everything moved over into our Google Sheets. We're going to create something very similar on the other side. So first, let's jump over here. We made just this quick little, here's an income, expenses, and your remainder budget. Super simple. We are going to remove that this time, and let's get started. So first, what I want to do here is I want to bring over the month and the year here. We're just going to put those in as standard pieces of the puzzle. So let's jump back over here, and starting here, we'll just do month and year. And how do we have it over here? Is it a drop down? No, it's just a typable area. So we'll just go ahead and put January and 2017, and then we want to format that because there is a bold box around it. It looks like that the box goes all the way to this gray square, which we're not going to put in our budget. We won't need it as you're building this customarily for yourself. So we're going to highlight those yellow and put a bold box around it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just highlight all of these, and you can come up here to your borders, and we can put a border around it. You can change the color of your border. You can change how thick your border is. You can do whatever you would like to do. So we'll come in here and we will, let's grab all of this here, and we'll go ahead and do a thick box border and put that on. So there we go. There's kind of looks similar there. And looking back at this, we've got everything centered. So month and the year is all centered on our actual sheet. So we'll go ahead and select all of these, and right here you can change this to center, and it'll move everything over. And we've highlighted these in yellow so that we know that those are things that we can change on our spreadsheet. So tonight I want to make sure that we get into all of income and debts and how these are built. So we'll go ahead and create them as they're built here. Now there is a piece of this puzzle on this spreadsheet that when you click here, it's actually referencing the Start Here tab. So it actually looks over in this tab and picks these to display to you. So we're going to change that later, but for now, I just want to build the style of what this looks like over in Google Sheets. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a big income box. It's 4 wide, and it just says income. So we'll jump over here, and as you can see, it's 2 down with budgeted, actual, difference, and the name over here. So I'm going to bring those over and we'll have them. In fact, you know what? I'm going to type them in just because you will be typing them in as well, and I don't want to be moving faster than what you'll be doing. So we'll come here, name, budgeted. Let's see what, sorry, I've already forgotten. Actual and difference. All right, so we've got our actual, if I could spell, and difference. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and center all of these. You know, as you're rebuilding this, you'll notice this one's left, but these are all centered, so that's great. Jumping down, we'll go and we'll create an income line that is all one box. You'll notice it's not multiple boxes like these are. It's just one giant box, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. So you highlight everything here, and there's this button here, merge cells. So if I click on that, it's going to turn it into one giant box. Now when I click on it, this is just one cell in and of itself. So in here, we'll type income, and I believe that was underlined, and it also was, let's see, all caps, and it's surrounded. So I don't really care to have it be underlined or anything here. I'm just going to color it correctly. Let's go ahead and make it all capital though, so that it's very clear. We'll center that, and we want to turn this box kind of a lightish green. Yeah, it looks good. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to put our border around it at the end so that we can, well, you know what? This has its own border around it. Let's go ahead and do that now. So we'll go ahead and grab the borders here, put that around, and we're still selected on the very thick setting. I don't know if I like how thick that is. We're going to go down one notch. I think that's a little overkill. There we go. This one may be overkill, but I'm going to leave it there. So now that we've got income, let's go ahead and put in a few lines that we could put our income into. So I'll jump over here, and as it says, name, budgeted, actual, and difference. So the first thing I want to do is typically I have Quincy's income. Typically he makes some money. And then we'll have my spouse's income and bank interest, etc. And you can put as many of those as you want in here. You can make income as big as you want. Now, budgeted is going to be for you to input into. I like to highlight things or color things so that you know where you can change cell references. You'll notice this is a blue field. Yellow is probably better because yellow is what we're using for all of these. I would try to keep things uniform. As I start to work on this, I realize all of the little silly nuances that I've created for myself. So we'll go ahead and just make them yellow so that they match everywhere else that we're entering things into. Actuals will be our actuals. So we'll go ahead and put some dollars in there and some dollars in here. Just going to throw zeros for now so that I can get my formatting right. And I can format as currency. And I want to go ahead and center those as well. And if you go in between two cells, so B and C, you'll notice that if I go right in the middle, it turns into two little arrows. If I double click, it'll just widen just enough to fit all of the words that are down here. So my difference is actually going to be one minus the other. So essentially what I want to do is say, how do I want to look at my difference? Do I want to see when I went over, or do I want to see when I went under, and how do I want to see it? And this is all you. This is personal preference. So if you come in here and you click on difference and you say, I want to take my actual minus my budget, and I want it to give me a number, essentially what that's going to say is if you budgeted $5 and then you actually got $10, then that will say that you were above by $5. Now, this is the way I would do it for your income, but for expenses, we'll probably do it differently. Because really what I want it to show is when I make more, the difference is a positive number, showing me that I did better than what I thought I would do. So this is just really quickly, again, in case you missed that, equals sign, and you take 1, so D5 minus C5, and I can just click here and hit enter. That gives me a difference of $5. Now, one thing I can do is if I want to just calculate this for all of them, I can grab right here on this little box and I can pull that down. So I'm clicking and holding and I'm dragging that down. Or simply, I can just do it for each of them. I can say this one minus that one. And we have all of those here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just leave these numbers here so that we can make sure our math is working right. And in the other example over here, it is a big box with black lines around it. So I'm going to do the same on this side. We'll go ahead and put a border all the way around, just like that. So you'll notice I didn't do a border in between each of these. I just did it as a whole. So I highlight the whole area and I select my border. Now, if I was to come in here and select like this and put a border, it's going to put lines in between each of those. Now, I don't like that because this is one big section, but if you would like to have everything highlighted like that, that would be great. And down at the bottom, you'll notice I have a divider line on my budget that shows where it ends so that I can do some sum totals. So we'll go ahead and put another border here. And in here, I'm just going to say total well, let's just say totals because they're not all income. So of budgeted, I would say equals, and I can do it in two different ways here. I can write SUM, and then I can do a parenthesis, and I can select all of these. And then I can close my parenthesis and hit enter, and this will sum the total of those. So right there, it's $5, and if I put $1 here, it's going to change it to $6, etc. I guess there's three ways I could do this. Instead of highlighting all of those like I did, I could actually just come in and say, I want this one, comma, and then I could say, I want the next one, comma, and I could say, I want the next one, and I could close that. That's going to give me the same answer. You'll see if I change those, it will do that. But the other way I was thinking, you can just say equals, and you can do this one plus this one plus this one. Now, I mean, the second two ways were very not as efficient as the first way. My favorite is just equals sum, parenthesis, and you highlight them all, and then you close the parenthesis. And you can highlight them just with your mouse too. So if I do equals sum, and it wants to give me great messages to show me how to do things, I can just highlight them like that and close it. And again, like I did before, I can actually grab this right here and I can move this over. Now, you're going to notice one little problem when I move it over, and that's that it removes this black line right here. And the reason it does that is because it's taking the same formatting of this, which doesn't have a black line right here, and moving it over, and so it erases that black line. I can put that black line back in two different ways. I can go ahead and just come back to my border and do that, and I have my border back. Or what I can do is, instead of dragging that over like I did before, I'll go back. I can take this and I can do a copy. So I can say copy, and I can highlight these two over here and go paste special. And then I can come down here and do paste formula only. And that will only paste the formula. So you'll notice it's not centered, but it leaves the line. So then I have to come here and center those. But this right here is how to do your income. And we didn't make it over to debt today. I'll go ahead and put that in the next video. We're just going to keep going on this budget template here. We're building this portion of everything over into Google Sheets so that you can access it from anywhere. This is income, and we will move on to the next section, which is debts, next time. We'll see you there, budgeteers. Thank you for watching. I'm extremely glad to have you here. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up. For more awesome videos, make sure you are subscribed.